Hi there. Thank you for joining our Gradient 101 webinar series. The link to this presentation, as well as all of our former Gradient 101 sessions, is in the bottom left corner of the screen. This is our customer experience team that hosts the Gradient 101 webinars. My name is Katie Selstrom. I'm the Director of Customer Experience, former teacher and coach here with you today. And our topic is student feedback. So let's jump right in. The format of our webinar today is I will review some step-by-step directions for giving student feedback within Gradient, give you some pro tips, and then provide some extra credit options for you in case you want to take this a little bit further. This session was previously recorded, so there is a link to a previous recorded session, but we will also post the new recording as well. So I'll review a few slides with you and then we'll jump into Gradient itself. But just give you a starting point. You can give student feedback with Gradient for them to access via the student portal. So if that's something new to you, there is a student portal overview here with a guide for how you can introduce it to students and what it looks like to set it up for teachers. Our student portal is just a way to take one of our paper forms and make it digital, and then make one of your assignments into a PDF so that students can view it online. So you can do the exact same work that you already do for setting up your key and getting ready to scan. You just change it up a bit going online. But to give feedback, you can do it at the student level. Like you can see here in this first picture, I've clicked into a student from within my assignment, and I'm able to view their overall responses. And these little bubbles here are the student feedback option. Or I can use my by question grading icon and go question by question, viewing all of the same question at once for all of my students. So here you can see the first student's response and how I've graded it and the feedback that I've left, and then the next student response ready for me to grade and leave feedback. So two different options there for leaving feedback. Let's jump in to see what that looks like live within GradeCam. So first, I'm going to go home and access an assignment that already has responses. So let me grab an assignment here. It looks like I'm logged into two places, so that's taking a little bit. Let's try that again. Okay, so jumping into my assignment, I'm on the responses tab. I've already scanned or given my assignment online. And now I'm able to click into a student and see all of their responses for an assignment where I can provide feedback on any response. And you can see that as I hover, it's telling me that this feedback is going to be visible in the student portal for the student. So I'll show what that looks like from the student's view in just a moment. Another way to provide feedback is to do it one question at a time. So I'm going to use the by question icon you see at the top and just click into a question. It's probably going to be one of my open response questions where students are typing or I've scanned their responses. And now I'm able to type in my feedback for the student to access when they go into the portal. And remember, our student portal is also connected to very commonly used LMSs like Canvas and Schoology. So students would also be able to view this feedback within Canvas and Schoology or get to it through a link in Google Classroom. So those are the options here that you can see for feedback. Okay, moving right along, some pro tips. You also can give students feedback simply by using some of our reports. So if you're not yet using our student portal and taking that opportunity to leave feedback for them to go in online and view, you can still have that feedback conversation, just displaying some of the reports you probably already access. So the item analysis report, the student exam report, and the class by question report are all great examples of ways to give students feedback about how they just did on their assignment, what standards or skills they need to work on, or maybe even common errors that you might try to problem solve together. So if you'd like a resource for how to walk through our reports with students, I've linked our coaching guide. This walks through the item analysis report, some of the cool configuration options you have, some questions you might ask within a PLC with your colleagues, and then most importantly, the questions you might use with students. So to see what this might look like live, we can go into the report section and jump into item analysis. And here, as you notice, I'm hovering over student responses, but none of the names are appearing. This is a anonymous mode that I can use to have a conversation with my whole class without showing any student information. And I can set this up by using the configure option that you see. I have the option to hide student names and scores, and that's toggled on. Another report that I have heard teachers really like to use with their students is the student exam report. So here in this use case, I'm able to see my whole class of students and decide to give them little printed slips or full pages of paper to show them how they did on their assignment. It kind of all depends on how long the assignment is. So you have some options if you're looking at cutting these up and saving paper, or if you'd like to leave them some space to do some reflection. So by default, you have the configure here, and you can decide to print these on separate pages, and you can decide whether to show the correct answer or not. So if I take that off, I'm just going to be giving the error, but not telling the student in parentheses what the correct answer was. And if I configure that back on, you'll notice the report updates to provide that correct answers. So it just depends on your purpose for giving these exam reports to your students. Another report often see teachers use with students is the class by question, or if you're using standards, you can either configure the question report to have standards listed at the top, or use the by standard report to group the questions into the standards they're associated to. So I've heard a lot of healthy competition between classes. Maybe you're teaching similar subject and content, and you want to compare how one class period is doing to another, but you don't want to reveal any student names. This would be a way to do that, or just for your own reflection in terms of how you paced through the content or the material covered, even having that conversation with students about why performance is higher in one particular skill level or question than another. So a great way to give feedback to students and to spark a class conversation. Moving right through to extra credit. Another way to think about giving students feedback is to take a look at our Teach It Forward series and our previous Grade 101 sessions. You can hear from other teachers that have been focused on feedback for learning or using our reports to give feedback by taking a look at our Teach It Forward series. So let me click into that. And you can see these are teachers from all different states using Gradient in different ways. And our last sessions are recorded here, so you can click into these links and hear what they have to say about using both our scanning and online tools for feedback. Another option you have is to take a look at some of our previous Gradient 101s. If by question grading is new to you, or formative assessment to give students feedback in the moment as their learning is new, we have some previous Gradient 101 sessions that you can visit. All of our previous sessions are listed here with a quick description to see if this is the right session for you. And we do try to keep those under 15 minutes. So it should be a quick watch, and hopefully you'll get some great nuggets out of it. And then I've also given you additional links if you're interested in taking a look at giving feedback over time, or additional ideas for reviewing performance anonymously. Check out our Tip Tuesdays. There's some great tips here, real quick and easy, with quick pictures and videos and additional links to help you think through what maybe some next steps could be. And if you've missed any of our previous GradeCam 101 or Gradient 101 sessions, we have all of the sessions listed here along with the recording. I'll go ahead and stop today's recording and check out the chat. Feel free to stay on if you have any additional questions, and thank you for joining us today.